Hi, this is the movie recaps. Today I'm going to tell you about the movie Symbol. What would you do if you woke up in a room with hundreds of little human pickles sticking out of the wall? You don't know? Well then let's see what the hero of the movie, the Symbol of 2009, did with them. Asian male wakes up in a huge white room with no windows or doors. He is wearing funny pajamas that look like a clown's outfit. On one of the walls he sees a strange lever and presses it, after which many small angels appear in the room. To tell the truth, they look creepy. After a few seconds the angels disappear back, but each of them leaves a button on the wall that looks suspiciously like a small human pickle. The man realizes exactly what he just touched and sniffs his finger. He screams and cries for help, but it seems he's the only one here, so he has to push these buttons. That's how he learns that each button triggers an object. So the man gets a horn, a bonsai tree in a big pot, and even a giant vase. He realizes that if you keep pressing the same button, you get more of a certain item. So the man gets a whole bunch of chopsticks. Engrossed in his new pastime, the man misses a button and gets hit in the leg by a cart that came right out of the wall, and it looks like it hurts. He grabs a horn and says a lot of bad words into it. Then he presses a button and causes a strange object to come out of the wall that looks suspiciously like an ass. From there a nasty gas splashes right into the man's face. Not very pleasant. More and more different objects appear in the room. Stuffed toys, a tape recorder, a pink ball, a mask, a plunger, and even a chaise lounge. After throwing his balloon at one of the buttons, the man gets sushi. Well, finally, that's the luck, but only soy sauce is missing. Pressing the button again causes only an additional portion of sushi. We have to do without sauce. The man eagerly eats the sushi, and once more, he presses the button and gets soy sauce. Thank you. A little later, 3D glasses fall out of the wall. The man puts them on and sees an angel pointing at one of the buttons. He's glad it's the way out, presses it, and a huge ass appears from the ceiling and knocks him down with stinking gas. Some more time passes. The man finds an interesting manga. He reads the 5th part and wants to get the continuation, but he presses different buttons, and suddenly a door appears, which immediately closes. Our hero forgot which button he pressed and presses everything, because of which some aboriginal runs out of the wall and dissolves into another wall. Finally, the man finds the right button, but he doesn't have time to run to the door. It falls down too fast. The man realizes that the door only goes up when the lever is released, so what to do? The man tries to run to the door. Alas, the marathon runner is not so good. He uses a fly swatter as an extension for the button, then a jump rope, then a fan, but nothing helps. Even a huge vase can't hold the button. The man decides to fill it with water, but it only flows over his head no matter where he stands. He tries to wriggle his wet clothes into the vase, but it's clearly not enough. There's only enough water to water a bonsai tree. And what about the sushi? Our hero fills the vase with it, but now it's too heavy and his hand can't fit inside. He's screaming and tearing his hair out, so he has to pull the sushi out one by one with the sticks. It's so slow that the bonsai tree in this room is even blooming. Yay, got it. The man drags the vase to the center of the room, but which button opens the door? He seems to have forgotten. He presses one of them and again summons a native from the wall, who kicks the vase, takes a long look at our hero, and goes back out. He tries to cover the button with rice and fish mush, but it doesn't work. What about duct tape? Neither does it. The lever still makes its way to the top. The man presses different buttons, and suddenly a rope appears from the ceiling. With its help, the man flies to the door like Tarzan, but behind it there is another door with a soaked well. Our hero miraculously manages to get back to the room before the first door goes down. However, he gets a painful blow on his back. Out of anger, he kicks on some button, and then the key appears, but he does not manage to get it. The man goes back, but he forgets which button he pressed. He tries one, tries two, but instead of the key, dogs crawl out of the wall and start barking at him. One of the buttons finally brings up the right key. The man comes up with a cunning plan. He puts a piece of fish from the land on this button, and he grabs the rope, swings and falls. Bummer. The hero spots a plunger and uses it to push the right combination of buttons. He opens the door with the key, but sees another lock on top, and it's a code lock too. The man throws the plunger in a rage. Suddenly, the Aborigine reappears with numbers painted on his forehead, 794, which seems to be the right code. The man enters these digits on the second lock, and it is no wonder that this is freedom. But no, the first door is down. He tries to open the second one, but the swing of the door does not allow him to do it. Our hero remains trapped in a tiny room, desperately begging for help. He cries again and remembers the past days he spent in confinement, how he built a huge tower, walked a toy dog, tried on clothes, played, read books. We realize that our hero has been in this strange room for many days. Is it really the end? But no, suddenly some breeze blows. The man opens a side door and gets into a long corridor, at the end of which is the same room. And again everything happens again. Again angels appear and leave their levers looking like cucumbers. Only this room is no longer white, but dark. The man screams in despair. Oh, there's another storyline in this movie. In the real world, a Catholic nun is driving a car along the Rocky Mountains and listening to Mexican radio, a rosary with a cross on it swinging on the mirror. In the next scene, we are introduced to another strange character. It's a man wearing a snail mask. That's what we'll call him, Mr. Snail. He is sitting at a table and not indignantly reading a newspaper. This character's wife thinks the man looks strange. Why would that be? He is followed by a car driven by a nun who turns out to be his daughter, Karen. She is taking her father to a competition. The man wants to have a chat with his daughter about life, but she drives terribly and constantly swears at other drivers so that nothing works. Mr. Snail changes his clothes and prepares for battle. He walks up to the altar and says a prayer. We see the church and hear the bells ringing. His daughter is there praying and asking for victory for her father. Mr. Snail's relatives arrive at his performance and run into the hall to take their seats. The audience is introduced to the fighters, the crowd cheers, and the fight begins. All of our hero's opponents are gradually eliminated from the game, and in the end he has to fight simultaneously against two opponents. One of them grabs Mr. Snail, and the other swings a chair at him. But at that moment our hero in the mysterious room presses some button, after which Mr. Snail grows a huge neck like a giraffe and knocks out his opponent with his head. The man in the room presses that button again and again, causing Mr. Snail to knock out absolutely everyone in the ring. And he even tries to smash the bell with his head. After that, the prisoner in the strange room presses all the buttons in a row, and it affects events all over the world. At a huge rock concert, a singer on stage spews flames like a real dragon, and the audience screams with delight. The flames even reach the ticket seller for this show, but she does not indignantly paint her nails. In Russia, a magician named Ivan shows disappearing tricks, but he doesn't succeed. In China, a fat man in a white t-shirt suddenly starts barking like a dog. A man in a room sees a beam of light on the floor. He lifts his head up and sees angels circling there. He realizes this is the way out. He crawls up the buttons like a real rock climber, and with each click changes something in our world. The higher he climbs, the more serious things happen. Accidents, cataclysms, going to the moon, rocket launches. At some point, the man realizes he doesn't need buttons anymore because he can fly. He soars upwards like one of the angels from that country room and already considers himself almost a god who can control everything in this world. Our hero rises to the very top and sees there a huge lever that looks like a... Well, they don't tell us exactly what that lever does. Maybe it's the end of the world. So you don't wake up in a room just like this one day. This is Z Movie Recaps, and we watched this masterpiece just for you.